What does it mean to co-create? What is co-creation? What does this word mean? I see it everywhere. What's up with it? Hi, I'm Liz Benferhat, and if you are new to my channel, because it's a very, very young channel, welcome. I'm the founder of We Heal for All, where we are all about exploring collective healing and what it means to collectively heal in the 21st century. And it's a word that I use a lot, so I figured it might be cool to make a video about it and share about what co-creation means to me and why I'm excited about it and why it's really a foundational principle of the way that We Heal for All operates, and especially in the community spaces that we facilitate and that we hold. So maybe you haven't heard of this word before, or maybe you've heard it here or there in different circles that you run in. Wherever you're at in terms of your knowledge and experience of this word, you're super welcome here. It's pretty cool, the word and the invitation and the need to co-create and to explore and figure out how to co-create is really budding up a lot more. It's an idea that has often been found within conscious communities who are geared towards consciousness development. And we all also now are starting to see this word in the United Nations, for instance, and in terms of some of the institutional recommendations that are put out there in terms of the type of capacities or skills that leaders need in order to address the many challenging social, environmental, political, and cultural challenges that are in front of us and that the UN addresses. So I'll circle back to that in a bit, but let's just start by even breaking down the word itself, and if I had more time and I would now pop up some words right here, co-create. But let's even just look at the etymology of this word. So if we break down and separate the two parts, co and create, co comes from the Latin word cum, C-U-M, which means with or together. I think of cum laude in university settings, someone who graduates with distinguishment or with honor. We can look towards the Spanish language and see the word con, C-O-N, meaning with. We can look at the English language and see COM, common community, communications, coming together, communicating, exchange between or with people. So when it comes to the word co-create, co-creating is really about a group of people or more than one person, so two people, coming together and designing or ideating or exploring something together. Building, designing, generating something in an intentional way together. So it's different, or it's almost an antidote to, let's even put that antidote idea to the side, but it's a different approach to um, collective action or collective idea generation than one person coming in with an idea and then the group implementing it, right? It's different than one person who's in a position of authority coming into a group setting or into a relationship, and then the group automatically taking and adopting that idea and then implementing it, for instance. And don't get me wrong, that dynamic is definitely needed still in this world. And now circling back to that antidote word, co-creation, the invitation to co-create, the practice of co-creating in community, in relationship, is an antidote or an alternative to dynamics, power dynamics specifically that are top down, right? One person comes into a community setting, into a group, into a relationship, and says, I have all the answers, I am the authority on this, here you go. There's a specific power dynamic there. Whereas co creation is really more of a horizontal power dynamic. Not always, and I'll even put a little caveat, little asterisk on that here in a second. But in its essence, it's really about the co-generation or coming together with other people to really glean from the collective wisdom that's amongst everyone. Now, for any and all of us who have been in, whether it's a co-op or like a friend group where everyone's really trying to practice horizontal power dynamics, we know how hard that can be too, right? How it can be when there's absolutely no structure or no guidance. Like I'm thinking about at the end of going out to eat and dinner, and everyone's like, how do we how do we split this bill? Everyone's kind of like, um, no one wants to take the lead, right? In order to not step on others' toes, for instance. Again, very, very good intentions. Um, but it can also be really inefficient, right? It can prevent things from getting done. And so there's different bodies of work, like integral theory, for instance, that really points to the need for a blended approach to top down power dynamics and horizontal power dynamics in order to keep things moving. But that's a conversation for a whole nother video. But it is, I think it's a cool thing to chew on and think about because, in this day and age where there's so much shifting for us as a collective, as a society. There's so much being unearthed and grappled with around unhealthy power dynamics, culturally, historically, systemically, right? The oppression of one group over another. And then how that paradigm shows up in our institutions, in our schools, in our family lives, in our relationships. How power dynamics and authoritarian power dynamics play out in our, really are uh, something that as a society we're continuing to, you know, grapple with and figure out and evolve, right? We're figuring out how to evolve and move from these more authoritarian approaches to getting stuff done and organizing ourselves as a society. And so this is where co-creation is a really cool thing to play with. It's a tool, right? It's an approach, it's a methodology. And so, I want to keep this video short. I'm already here at 8.5 minutes. But, so I hope this gives you a little bit of a sense of co-creation and why co-creation is talked about more and more, especially within the context of culture change and community spaces and organizations as big as the UN, really seeking to explore new ways of working together, of collaborating, of getting things done, of making sure that everyone's voice is honored and celebrated, and not just for the sake of honoring and celebrating it, although that's absolutely legit in and of itself, but also because there's stuff to learn from everyone's voice, right? It's really the benefit to the whole and the benefit to the intention of folks coming together to do a project, to come up with ideas, to organize an event. There's really, you know, it's beneficial to the goal, right? To the objective, because everyone has things to offer. So I'll just leave you with this. That's really, the heart and soul of the way uh, the work that we do at We Heal for All is rooted and centers on. In this day and age when things are changing so rapidly, and from with many of these large scale global and cultural challenges that we face, and then also with the different shifts that are happening also at the personal level, the relational level, in our leadership, in our families, in our um, romantic relationships, everything like that. Um, Oftentimes, there's more questions than answers, right? A lot of these questions don't have answers, and so, or clear cut ones, or one singular answer. So that's why coming together in community and co creating wisdom around these questions is so powerful, right? Because we are grappling with questions that don't have clear answers. And as scary as that is in one sense, it's also so exciting and beautiful and inspirational because we have an opportunity to give birth to new things. And I'm of the humble belief that co creation is part of those tools that are going to help us do so. So come check us out. We've got a free online community center. We do monthly drop in circles. And if you're looking to facilitate co creation, facilitate the co creation of wisdom within your communities, come check out our circle training. It's a newest offer. Really excited. We're actually just finishing up the beta test of it. So you'll be hearing more about that soon to come. And if you like this, if you're excited, subscribe, follow along, and let me know if there's any topics that you want to unpack and hear about and you'd like to see a video of. All right, from my home to yours. Well, actually, I'm at my friend's house right now. But from my heart to yours, sending you a lot of love. Thanks for being here.